Wallaby! Are you ready for story time with me? All right, well, if you're new here, first we have to get our brains and our bodies ready. Come on! Okay, so today we are just going to be getting our brains and bodies ready with some stretching. So we're going to stretch our arms all the way up, reach for the sky, and then we're going to stretch them out. How far wide can you reach? Whoa, that's pretty long arms, huh? Wiggle your fingertips, and then take those fingertips and touch your toes with straight legs. Can you do that? Can you touch your toes with straight legs? Oh, what if we bend our legs and touch our toes, Okay, now we're gonna get back up and we're going to stretch to the side. One arm over your head, stretch to the side. And then we're gonna do our other arm. Stretch to the side. It's almost like we're bending over like if we were a teapot, huh? I think the I'm a little teapot goes like this, but we're just taking our arm and stretching it over. Yes, stretch it over. Okay, and now we're going to stretch our legs. We're going to go out to the side and stretch our leg out to the side. See, this leg is bent and this leg is straight. Stretch it out, all right? And we'll do it with the other leg. Bend this leg and keep this one straight and stretch it out. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, now let's try to do a squat. You can do a squat like this as if you were sitting, or you can spread your legs a little bit further apart and you can do a squat like this. And it's still sitting. Whatever's easier for you is fine. Let's do 5 more squats, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yay! All right, we're gonna end with a big hug. Give yourself a big hug. All right, now let's go inside for the story time. Hi friends, we're back inside, and you know what time it is. It's time for Rella's Riddle. If you're new here, this is gonna be how it works. I'm gonna give you 3 hints to a riddle, and then if you guess that riddle correctly, it'll have to do with our book. So are you ready? Okay, if you're new here, also take a moment to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. So let's get started. Hint number 1. I come in many different forms, like circles, triangles, or squares. Do you know what I am? Hint number 2. I can be seen in a lot of different places, in your home, in nature, everywhere. Do you know what I am now? Here's hint number 3. I'm normally described by the number of shapes or angles that I have. Oh my goodness, do you know what it is? Here's a hint. All right, if you guessed a shape, you would be correct. We're gonna be talking about shapes today. And since we're talking about shapes, let's learn a different way to say shapes. If we were gonna learn how to say shapes in American Sign Language, we would say it like this. That's shapes. And if we were going to learn how to say shapes in Spanish, it would be formas. Formas. Isn't that awesome? All right, now that you know that we're going to be talking about shapes in the story time, let's go ahead and get into it. What are we reading? Yay! So today we're actually going to be reading a Rella B original. It's called If Shapes Could Talk. Are you ready? That's why our hint was shapes today. So we have a little purple rhombus on the front, and we're gonna open it up and let's see what it's about. My mom is a triangle. My dad is a square. I am a rhombus, and we all live over there. Our house is a big dome, and it holds the things we own. We have knickknacks and doodads and a garden that we've grown. My uncle is a rectangle. My aunt is an oval. My grandpa and grandma are circles, and everyone is so jovial. Do you know what jovial means? That means happy. I love my shapely family. Our days were always so fine. But when I began to go to school, I saw families different than mine. Do you see families that are different than yours? I see families that are different than mine a lot. Little Rhombus noticed that. Maxine, the polka-dotted hexagon, had a mom and dad striped and square. So Maxine had parents that didn't necessarily look like her. There are families like that, huh? They had a huge house with a heart-shaped pool, and I wondered, well, how is that fair? Why don't I have a bigger house or look unique with dots? Thoughts kept running through my head of our differences, and there are lots. I wanted the things that Maxine had, but was that wrong of me to say? I asked my dad, can we have a pool? He said,
"Not now, dear. Go along and play."
One day Maxine invited me over. We played with all of her things. She had a cat, a dog, a bird, and a house big enough for kings. Maxine, I said, I love your stuff. You must never be bored here. Maxine smiled sadly and replied, I miss the ones I hold dear. Maxine explained that she was adopted. She had lost her mom and dad. Her smile started to fade away, and she became a little sad. I hugged Maxine and told her, I'm sorry, I really didn't know. She looked at me and said, it's okay, but I think it's time for you to go. I grabbed my things and ran back home. When I got there, I held my parents tight. My mother asked, Baby, what's wrong? I glanced up and said, I don't think I was right. I explained the things Maxine went through and how I messed up our play date. I thought I wanted all the things she had, but I realized my life is great. I have 2 parents that love me so and a beautiful garden to play, a house filled with love and laughter, and I can see my family every day. When I saw Maxine again, I gave her a hug. I apologized for being jealous and coy. She taught me a lesson I'll never forget, and that's comparison is the enemy of joy. What does that mean? That comparison is the enemy of joy. Have you ever seen someone and maybe they had a different flavor of ice cream than you, or maybe they had a scooter, but you had a bike and you wanted their scooter? Sometimes when we start to compare what other people have against what we have, we start feeling like we want that too. Sometimes it's hard to share our stuff, and sometimes we think we should really have that. So just remember that you have awesome things, and maybe your friends have awesome things, and you guys can share, but that doesn't mean we all have to have the same things, right? Well, you know what time it is. It's time to find out who our co-creators are. Are you ready? All right, show us co-creators in the app. Tell me, tap, tap, tap. Hello, smartphone, tell us today, did all our friends have fun and play? I hear my friends, Samantha, Robert, Layden, and Johnny had fun today. Won't you come back another day? Thanks so much for joining me on Reading with Rella B. If you would like to become a co-creator, you can check out rellabbooks.com and go to the Want to Participate tab. There's so many different ways that you can be a co-creator. You can even have a story written in that we might be able to read on the channel. So thank you so much, and if you're interested in the book, you can find it in the links below. So thank you. Toodles!